Xiangling's mysterious assistant appears to be aiding her opponent. Judges, are we going to allow... We knew in advance that Xiangling would be accompanied by a mysterious assistant, and the judges agreed that the two could be classed as one individual for the purposes...
I take no issue with it. In any case, the assistant hasn't done much in the way of...
No competition would be complete without a...
Please allow me to explain. Prior to the competition, the judges reviewed both contestants, and we can comfortably confirm that neither side is participating in a way that... Xiangling is a highly accomplished chef, and Xiangling prepares all of her own dishes herself. All that her assistant will do is occasionally provide a fire source. Given Xiangling's level, I appreciate everyone's concerns, but the mysterious assistant has now started cheering.
That's right! Guoba's not really outside help. Guoba just likes to watch people cook. I'm sure the only reason they went over there is to try to help Yanxiao feel less nervous. I give you all my word, Guoba will not I say that as someone who's eaten Yanxiao's cooking at Wangshu.
I see. Most amusing.
I have no objections. It's an honor and a privilege to see...
The judges and the officiator accept this explanation.
Yanxiao, are you alright?
I don't know what's wrong with me. I've never been so nervous in my life.
Take it easy. I've been there before.
Why my dad?
Because that's what I do.
I guess I'll think of my mom then.
Nothing's being held up.
Huh? Oh, right.
There you go. That's the attitude we want.
Yes, you're right. Thank you, Xiangling. And thanks to your, well, thanks.
Time's up! Both contestants have now finished cooking. I would like to invite them to present their dishes to the judges for evaluation. We will proceed in the order that the contestants finished. Xiangling, please describe your dish.
My dish is Jiyun chili chicken with sides of... The theme is of my main dish Jiuyun chili chicken, triple-layered consomme also uses fowl. The crystal shrimp is made from a combination of shrimps are a gift from the ocean. Tightly wrapping them in a...
Ooh, a strong delivery there.
My dish is Adeptus Temptation with a mint salad and golden shrimp ball. As Xiangling says, Earth Adeptus Temptation is it's a complex dish with the mint salad is my first side. Golden shrimp balls is a time.
Paimon can smell...
Judges, please sample the...
Very impressive. Both contestants' dishes are well considered, expertly made, and truly delicious. I'm gonna have another golden shrimp. I mean, I shall have to sample both contestants' dishes once more before I can reach a verdict.
Now, Xiangling has taken an interesting It's also a unique take on Jiuyun chili chicken. Although the dish as a whole is served cold, the chili peppers have been stir-fried, and so there's still just a little...
This Adeptus Temptation is quite exceptional. The triple-layer
Judges of the select panel, I will now ask also, the organizing committee has...
How are we not involved in this? Why didn't they pick us to be... Paimon has buckets of passion and oodles of expertise when it... Yippee! For all the chefs there are in the world, and for all...
Thank you all for waiting. All votes have been received. I now invite Ningguang to take the floor and announce the results of the Masterful Chefs Finals.
It is my pleasure to announce... by a mere...
Wow! What? How is it so close?
Well, there it is.
It was a close contest, but we have a winner. There can only be one winner, but the fact that this was so close shows just how... A big thank you to all the audience for being here today, especially those who have come from far and...
Thank you all for coming.
Please exit the venue in an orderly fashion.
Come on, let's go over and take a... Looks like I won this time, Yen Xiao. But
Sure, I'll have a try. Oh, truly a...
This Adeptus Temptation...
Well, just goes to show that you have a taste for the finer...
No, you've got me all wrong. We're just a small neighborhood restaurant too, so I totally understand. Food...
Is that right? Huh. I'd heard you'd gotten famous for your experimental approach to cooking and were all about fancy and exclusive foods. Never realized you'd done your time.
The same goes for you. You can't work in an inn kitchen unless you know how to consistently please customers. It's no wonder your food is...
You're the kind of competition I'm glad to have. Let's stay in touch.
You got it. And next time we meet as competitors, let's both—
All right? Deal.
Traveler, Paimon! Thanks for coming! Don't even go there! Paimon's still Pete! I can't believe it! You didn't get picked? Well, never— You will? Oh, the organizer said that Yenshao and I need to go register our delivery addresses. Apparently they're gonna deliver an exclude— I'll come find you guys after. Xiangling's— Looks like Kuching and Ningguang left him. Kuching!
Oh,
Huh? Is everything okay?
Traveler. I have in the competition. I voted for Smiley Yen.
So you're frustrated because you can't go back and vote for Xiang?
No, that's not it. As a judge, I had a duty to remain objective. I made my decision after thinking about it very carefully. Xiangling is my friend. So by rights, But, as you know, I voted based purely on my personal opinion. As a contestant, Xiangling may not be able to appreciate this.
It's no big deal. Just say it however comes naturally. Xiangling of all people— Oh, hey! Here you are!
Xiangling, there's something I need to tell you.
What is it?
My grandfather always said to me, in contests of food, always follow your heart. Which is to say that in gastronomy— Of course, that was just my grandfather's opinion. So, despite the fact that I am your friend, I cast my vote for well, maybe it was. I like golden shrimp balls.
You were acting so serious that I honestly thought something was up.
Huh?
You voted for who you wanted to, and that's totally okay. In fact, that's exactly how it should be. Otherwise, how could— So, you made a point of telling me. Is that— Didn't I say already? I love this about you. You're just so conscientious about everything. Seeking reassurance is what novices do, and it's been a long time since I was a novice. You have a strong sense of responsibility, Kuching. But you know, not everything is always about responsibility. You know that's what Ningguang's like, right? Beido's always telling me about how well she gets along with— So you see, Ningguang's kind of bold in that she doesn't let her identity and reputation get in the way of her ability to have a good time. You could take a—
Traveler. Xiangling. Anyway, what are we standing around here for?
Oh yeah! Pilot— How strange. This doesn't make any— Does this mean the competition was—
Oh well. I suppose it was—
Yeah! We've waited this long, right, Xiangling? Yup, there's still time. Let's be— On another note, I have some good news for you, Kuching. Master came by before the competition and filled in— In fact, I'll go find somewhere—
Xiangling.
Oh, and Traveler— Huh? You only just beat Smiley Yanxiao! You think you're up for challenging us already? Obviously not. You collect recipes, don't you? I thought you'd probably be needing this dish during your travels, so I figured— Oh! Right! Paimon knew that. Huh? Jeez, careful eating your word.
What are you staring at me for? Go on.
It's done! So this is what the dish from the recipe looks like. Let's go give it to Kuching. We're back! The Traveler and I made one each. Here, have it.
Thank you.
What is it?
This flavor. Apologies, Xiangling, Traveler. Thank you both. It tastes wonderful and quite amazingly. Somehow it took me right.
Really? I didn't have a chance to fully explain before. In fact, when Master had filled in the missing parts of the recipe for me, I realized that You already knew? You mean you were able... Uh-huh. My dad taught me how to make it. Wait, but isn't this dish from Kuching's grandpa's notes, though?
About that. I do not believe that this recipe was my grandfather. My grandfather was a well-known real estate tycoon in Liyue, and also a scholar. He was an avid collector of old books and was quite knowledgeable on As a child, I used to spend a lot of time with him in his study. We'd read the classics together, then debate how much of it was actually genuine, and whether Rex Lapis was real or not. He used to say, books are just a bridge that bring us a little closer to history. It's up to those of us in later generations to ask these questions, search for the answer. Since then, my grandfather has passed on, and I've grown up to become a Qixing. My views on Rex Lapis have changed in this time too, from myth to reality. For me, the name Rex Lapis is inextricably wound up with memories of my grandfather. Whenever I see his name written down. As I said earlier, this recipe came from those same notes. It's an ancient dish that he was trying to restore. Still, each time he
Ancient dish? Well, at least in my family it is. We call them chili mince cornbread buns. They're a traditional folk food. Seeing Guoba just reminded me of something. I actually made this dish on the day I first met
How did you first meet?
It was in a cave in the mountains. I ducked inside to get out of the rain and saw an offering table in there, so I put the cornbread buns I brought with me on. Then I ended up falling asleep, and when I woke up, I found out that Guoba had eaten every last one. Guoba followed me around ever since. We're practically family. Hold up! Stop the conversation! Look! The stone! It burst open!
It's...
Globa? What are you...
Ah, I see the chili mince cornbread buns have been served.
Master! Granny, look! The stove god statue looks
Oh, indeed it does. After all, Guoba is the deity you've been...
Globa is a god?
You asked me if a sufficiently festive atmosphere would be enough to reawaken the stove god. And my answer is this. The stove god has always been a deity with great affection for the people, and who acts in response to their desires. To hit passion can be a technique, a skill, something derived from experience. But desires, they are deeper, more innate. They are the heart's strength in its pure. Masterful chefs is wonderfully exciting, but it is more an exercise of passion than of desire. And passion alone will not suffice to reawaken. But just now, when Kuching ate this dish she had longed for, a deeply held desire was fulfilled. As well as receiving an answer to her question, she also gained something much more precious. A moment of the enormous power unleashed by the fulfillment of this desire resonated with the stove god's statue, and caused it to manifest once more the form. Of course, the stove god himself is not contained within the statue. The true stove god has been here. How does it feel, seeing a statue of yourself from your glory days? Look at him.
Glory days? Wait, what happened? Did Groba used to be different from now?
Oh, yes. Back in his day, your Guoba was once the patron god, but all the wisdom and power he had then, he has since surrendered to the soil.
A god surrendering their power to the soil.
The kinds of trials and tribulations that a land can face are far more than you could imagine. The threat of disaster will never fully disappear from Liyue. Even woes that have never been faced before in history will come to pass in the future. Such things affect... He once walked with you over the barren plains until you arrived at last at the harbor. He joined you in building your dwellings, and it was his hand that lit the very first street lamp of Liyue, and brought you mortals no longer remember him. But back in the age when you did, he was the closest of all. Marchosius, god of the stove, born from a spark when stone struck stone. He was a god with a great love for humanity and their well-being. Millennia ago, the people sought to expand their city. They built a dwelling on the plains and called it the Guili Assembly. The stove god cared greatly for the people, turning himself into minions who went into every home, fostering food and solidarity alike. Alas, their home was taken by a flood. The waters ravaged the Guili Assembly and forced the people back south to Liyue Harbor. Though the distance was not far, the journey was plagued by a terrible storm. For a dozen days, the Adepti stayed by their side. During this time, the stove god cooked an ancient delicacy, flatbread with a meat sauce to stave off the cold and damp, fit for those on the move. Centuries later, disaster and plague arose once more. The stove god would appear no longer, for he placed all of his power into the land itself to quell the calamities. His power expended, and his wits greatly reduced. Thus his body decreased in size. By the time he parted ways with us, he wasn't even the height of a human. He told Rex Lapis and I of the dishes that bring joy and of the secrets of the flame. then went into the mountains and entered into a long slumber. The stove god departed, and Guoba was born. When he awoke, he ate the chili mince cornbread buns placed on the offering table by a young lady in yellow. Though he did not remember the past, he was profoundly moved and decided to follow this young lady thereafter. The stove god had quietly disappeared, but the vendors rose early to hawk their wares. People went out to buy goods, lit their stoves, and cooked food, just as they had done every day for as long as they could remember. In Liyue, things have always been this way. Nature provides, the mountains rejoice. We are blessed by heaven's good grace.
Years have gone by. The world has transformed, but our way of life survives.
Fame and fortune is only a season. It is the moment that we should embrace.
Past meets present. Heritage becomes legacy. Long into the future may we thrive.
You once told me that dining is the profoundest of customs in the human world. To eat well, it is a matter of paramount importance, you said. A humble meal of maize and spring water is also profound in that. My dear friend, Liyue has changed so much while you have slept.
Boba, this is kind of a huge deal. Why didn't you say it?